When I think of Lebanese cuisine, I usually think of vibrant appetizers, olive oil-rich dishes, and recipes that bring together generations of tradition around one table. But sometimes the story of the restaurant begins even before the first dish arrives. The name Sofret Fayzah immediately stood out to us. The word Sofret refers to a dining table where family and friends gather to share food together. And Fayzah is actually the name of the owner's mother. So, the restaurant carries a very personal meaning, almost like inviting people to sit at the family table. Sofret Fayzah has two branches in the Eastern Province, one located in Al-Kubar city and the other in Dammam city. And for this visit, we chose the original Dammam branch because we usually prefer to experience a restaurant where the story first began. The restaurant is located in a small commercial strip, surrounded by coffee shops and bakeries. And although the location is slightly tucked away, it gives the place a quiet neighborhood feeling. From the moment we arrived, the elegant entrance and the Lebanese identity of the restaurant were clear, and it was time to step inside and see whether the experience would live up to the promise of its name. Hi guys, this is Yazan. Today I will take you with me to Sofret Fayzah, one of the Lebanese restaurants in Dammam city. As always, I will be ordering several dishes from their menu and I will be sharing my honest review. No filters, no fluff. From starters to dessert, we'll be diving into the full experience. So join me today for lunch and let's discover if this place is really worth the hype. If you're ready, I'm ready. Let's give it a try, guys. Once we stepped inside Sofret Fayzah, the first thing that stood out was the elegant design of the restaurant. The space is built over 2 levels, and since we arrived before opening time, we had many seating options available. We decided to go upstairs, where the dining area overlooks the entrance and main floor. Upstairs, the seating area is arranged with marble tables and comfortable chairs, separated by partitions with traditional geometric patterns that added a Lebanese touch while still keeping the space open. Warm hanging lamps stretch across the ceiling, giving the dining room a pleasant atmosphere. Along the walls you can see wooden design elements, combined with textured surfaces and Arabic writing that highlight the restaurant's identity. Looking toward the front of the restaurant, you will see large curved golden arches frame the windows, bringing natural light into the space and adding a beautiful design element. Downstairs near the entrance, there was a well-lit staircase with soft lighting built into each step, surrounded by natural stones and plants, which made the space feel calm and inviting. Close to the cashier area, you can also see into the kitchen, where the chefs are preparing the dishes. Overall, the design feels modern, while still reflecting traditional Middle Eastern style, creating a welcoming place to begin the dining experience. Once we were seated, we started exploring the menu to see what Sofret Fayzah had to offer. The menu offers a wide selection of Lebanese dishes. It includes soups and salads, many cold and hot appetizers, grilled items, traditional main courses, sandwiches, desserts, and fresh juices. One detail that stood out to us that the menu clearly shows both the price and the calorie count for each dish, which makes it easier for diners to know exactly what they are ordering. As we went through the pages, it was clear that the restaurant focuses heavily on traditional Lebanese cuisine, with many well-known classics together with several signature dishes that carry the name of the restaurant. The grill section also offers different types of grilled meat and chicken dishes, while the main course section includes traditional Levantine dishes prepared in a more home-style manner. After going through the menu and considering several options, we decided to begin our meal with one of their soups. This is the pumpkin soup, and it arrived in a small bowl with a rich orange color that immediately stood out on the table. The surface looked smooth and creamy, and the texture appeared thick and well blended, showing the natural pumpkin base used in the soup. On the plate beside the bowl, there were small pieces of fried bread, crispy fried onions, and a lemon wedge, which could be added to the soup depending on the taste. I started by adding a few pieces of the fried bread into the soup, and they quickly softened as they blended into the creamy base. Then I added a small amount of the crispy fried onions, which introduced a light crunch and added another layer of flavor to the dish. Finally, I squeezed a little lemon juice into the soup, which lifted the flavor and brought a gentle citrus touch that balanced the richness. According to the menu, this soup contains 141 calories. Finally, the pumpkin soup felt warm, creamy, and comforting, making it a very pleasant way to begin the meal. This is Fayzah salad, and it arrived in a wide bowl filled with fresh green lettuce that formed the base of the dish. From the first look, the salad appeared colorful and well arranged, with several ingredients placed across the top that added texture and contrast. Large pieces of fresh lettuce were combined with sun-dried tomatoes, small cubes of vegetables, and generous pieces of walnuts scattered throughout the bowl. The walnuts immediately stood out because they added a rich and earthy touch to the salad, while the sun-dried tomatoes brought a deeper color and a slightly salty and sour flavor. Among the greens, there were also small rolls of thin eggplant slices, each wrapped around a tiny piece of beetroot and feta cheese, which introduced an interesting combination of flavors. The feta cheese added a light creamy element, while the beetroot brought a mild sweetness that balanced the saltiness of the cheese. Everything in the bowl was lightly combined with the dressing, which was made with date molasses, olive oil, salt, and lemon juice. This dressing gave the salad a unique flavor because the date molasses introduced a gentle sweetness that worked well with the acidity of the lemon and the richness of the olive oil. According to the menu, this salad contains 534 calories. Overall, Fayzah's salad felt fresh, balanced, and full of interesting ingredients that made it a very enjoyable start before moving to the appetizers. This is the Mama Ganoush. For the appetizers, I decided to explore several dishes from the menu, but instead of ordering the classic hummus and mutabbal, I wanted to try something a little different and take advantage of the many options available. The first appetizer I chose was the Mama Ganoush, which arrived presented in a very neat circular shape, placed at the center of the plate. Around the edge of the dish, there was a ring of bright pomegranate seeds, which immediately added color and made the presentation stand out. On top of the appetizer, there was a generous layer of crushed walnuts scattered across the surface and giving the dish a rich and textured appearance. The plate itself was finished with a light drizzle of molasses, which surrounded the appetizer and added another visual element to the presentation. The base of the dish combined hummus with the traditional baba ganoush ingredients, creating a smooth mixture that blended chickpeas with the smoky eggplant flavor. As I tasted it, the hummus provided a creamy foundation, while the eggplant introduced a deeper and slightly smoky character. The walnuts added a gentle crunch, and the pomegranate seeds added a light touch of sweetness that balanced the overall flavor. According to the menu, this dish contains 470 calories. Overall, the Mama Ganoush felt like a creative twist on a traditional Middle Eastern appetizer, and it was a very enjoyable way to begin the appetizer course. This is the grape leaves. The second appetizer I tried was the grape leaves. The grape leaves had a glossy appearance, showing that they were well covered with olive oil, and they were arranged carefully to highlight the presentation. Across the plate there was a drizzle of pomegranate molasses, which created a nice pattern around the grape leaves and added another layer of flavor to the dish. 2 cherry tomatoes were placed beside the rolls, giving the plate a bright and colorful contrast. When tasting the grape leaves, the texture was very soft and tender, and they almost melted in the mouth. The filling inside had a balanced flavor with a pleasant sour note that worked nicely with the sweetness of the pomegranate molasses. According to the menu, this dish contains 265 calories. Overall, the grape leaves were simple, flavorful, and very enjoyable, so they were a great addition to the appetizer selection. This is the potato balls. For the third dish, I ordered the potato balls, which arrived as 3 fried potato balls placed neatly on a long plate. Each potato ball had a golden crispy exterior and was topped with a layer of white gravy that gently flowed down the sides. A small amount of fresh green garnish was placed on top of the sauce, adding a light contrast to the dish. These potato balls were made from mashed potatoes on the outside and were stuffed with ground lamb meat inside. This was a new experience for me because instead of ordering the usual kibbeh, I decided to try something different from the menu. The outside had a crunchy texture and the inside was soft and filled with flavorful ground lamb meat. The white gravy added another layer to the dish, bringing a creamy element that worked very well with the crispy potato crust. According to the menu, this dish contains 671 calories. Overall, the potato balls were extremely delicious, and it is definitely a dish I would order it again whenever I visit this restaurant. This is the musakhan sambusa. For the fourth appetizer, I ordered the musakhan sambusa, which offered a different version of a well-known Levantine dish. Musakhan is usually served on flat bread or wrapped in sage bread, but here it was presented in the form of sambusa, which made it a very interesting twist. The plate arrived with 4 half-circle sambusas, arranged neatly around a small pole placed in the center. Each sambusa was prepared with homemade dough and fried until it reached a beautiful golden brown color, and they all looked uniform in shape and size. In the middle of the plate, there was a small bowl of yogurt sauce, sprinkled with sumac, which was meant to be used as a dip. Each sambusa had a generous filling of musakhan-style chicken and onions, and it was well seasoned with sumac. The outside was crispy, and the inside was filled with flavorful chicken and onions, with the familiar musakhan taste. Dipping the sambusa into the yogurt sauce added a creamy contrast that complemented the spices in the filling. According to the menu, this dish contains 680 calories. Overall, the musakhan sambusa was a creative and delicious version of a traditional dish. This is the cheese rolls. The cheese rolls arrived neatly arranged on a long plate. 4 golden rolls were placed side by side, each one evenly fried and showing a beautiful crispy crust. The rolls had a smooth golden color that immediately suggested a crunchy texture on the outside. Inside, there was melted cheese, which added a salty and rich flavor to the dish. The combination of the crispy outer layer and the warm melted cheese inside created a very enjoyable contrast in texture. Cheese rolls are one of my all-time favorite appetizers whenever they appear on a menu. Although the idea of the dish itself is simple and familiar, every restaurant prepares it slightly differently, depending on the type of cheese and dough they use. In this case, the balance between the crispy shell and the melted cheese filling worked very well. According to the menu, this dish contains 336 calories. Overall, this version of cheese rolls was one of my favorites from the appetizers. This is the Lebanese sausage. For the remaining appetizers, I ordered a few traditional Lebanese dishes that are commonly found in authentic Lebanese cuisine. These dishes were served with a basket of freshly baked brick oven bread, which is perfect for enjoying these types of appetizers. The first of these dishes were the Lebanese sausage, which arrived in a beautiful copper serving pot that gave the dish a traditional presentation. Inside the pot, there were several small sausage pieces, mixed with grilled bell peppers and onions. A lemon wedge was also placed on top of the dish, which could be squeezed over the sausage depending on taste. It was cooked with pomegranate molasses, which added a gentle sweetness and depth to the flavor, even though the sauce itself was not very visible. The sausages were juicy and full of flavor, with the peppers and onions adding another layer of texture and taste. The pomegranate molasses balanced the savory flavor of the sausage with a slight sweetness that worked very well. According to the menu, this dish contains 430 calories. Overall, this Lebanese sausage dish delivered a classic flavor that is commonly associated with traditional Lebanese appetizers. This is the makinik. Makinik is one of the most well-known traditional Lebanese appetizers, and it's a dish that is very common to find on Lebanese tables. Inside the pot, there were several small Lebanese sausages in a dark glossy sauce. Mixed with the sausages were small cubes of grilled potatoes, which added another texture to the dish. A lemon wedge was placed on the side, which could be squeezed over the dish, depending on personal taste. The sausages were cooked with pomegranate molasses, which created a rich sauce that covered the entire dish. On top, there was a light sprinkle of sesame seeds, adding a small nutty touch to the presentation. The sausages were juicy and flavorful, while the pomegranate molasses added a balanced sweetness that worked very well with the savory meat. According to the menu, this dish contains 420 calories. Overall, the makinik delivered a classic Lebanese flavor and felt like a very authentic appetizer experience. This is the chicken liver. Chicken liver is another classic appetizer that is very common in Lebanese cuisine, and it's often served as a part of a traditional Lebanese table. The dish came in a beautiful copper pot, which gave the presentation a warm and traditional feel. There were generous pieces of chicken liver covered in a dark glossy sauce. On top of the liver, there was a light sprinkle of sesame seeds, which added a small nutty element to the presentation. A lemon wedge was placed on the side of the dish, which could be squeezed over the liver depending on personal taste. The chicken liver was cooked with pomegranate molasses, which created a rich glaze that covered the pieces and gave the dish a deep color. The liver had a very tender texture and absorbed the sauce very well. The pomegranate molasses added a slight sweetness that balanced the natural richness of the liver. I have personally tried chicken liver before, and I can say that this dish delivered a flavor that felt very close to the authentic version. According to the menu, this dish contains 580 calories. Overall, the chicken liver was rich, flavorful, and a very satisfying addition to the appetizer selection. This is the cheese kofta. For our main dishes, we chose the cheese kofta, which was served as 3 half-circle pieces, placed neatly on an oval platter. On the side, there was a small bowl of creamy mushroom sauce, presented separately to complement the dish. The kofta had a nicely grilled outer layer, giving it a slightly crisp surface, while keeping the inside very tender. Each piece was filled with melted cheese in the center, which was soft and rich, and added a smooth texture to every bite. The cheese inside was clearly visible, very well melted, and blended perfectly with the meat. The combination of the juicy meat and the melted cheese created a very balanced and satisfying flavor. The mushroom sauce added an extra layer, with a creamy and slightly earthy taste with the kofta. I could have easily finished the whole dish, but I still had more dishes to try. According to the menu, this dish contains 831 calories. Overall, the cheese kofta was rich, flavorful, and a very enjoyable main dish experience. This is the Lebanese sayadiyya. The Lebanese sayadiyya is considered a well-known dish in Lebanon. In fact, this dish is known across many Arab countries, but each region prepares it in its own unique way. Historically, this dish originated from the coastal areas of Lebanon and Syria, which explains its strong connection to seafood. The dish was served in a large oval platter, filled with rice, and generously topped with chunks of fried fish. The rice itself was infused with fried onions, which added both flavor and slightly caramelized taste. On top, there was an additional layer of crispy fried onions, which gave the dish both texture and depth. It was also topped with fresh dill and scattered cashew nuts, which gave a nice visual contrast and a slight crunch. The fish pieces were well fried, with a crispy outer layer, while remaining soft and tender on the inside. The combination of the seasoned rice, the sweetness of the onions, and the flavor of the fish worked very well together. Compared to many restaurant and homemade versions, this dish stood out as one of the best. According to the menu, this dish contains 610 calories. Overall, the Lebanese Sayyadi delivered a rich, flavorful, and highly satisfying main dish. This was the eggplant kebab. This is a very popular dish in Lebanese cuisine, and you can find it in many different versions across the region. But the idea is always the same, combining eggplant with kebab in a rich and flavorful way. It came in a beautiful oval platter with thick fried slices of eggplant layered around kebab pieces, which gave it a very appealing and well-balanced presentation. The eggplant was soft from the inside with slightly crispy edges, while the kebab was very tender and juicy, and the combination between them worked perfectly in every bite. On top, it was finished with a creamy yogurt sauce, which added a smooth and slightly sour flavor that balanced the richness of the eggplant and meat. On both sides, there were grilled tomato and onion, adding a nice smoky flavor, and in the middle, there was a generous bit of chopped parsley mixed with thin onion slices. There was also a grilled green chili placed on top, lightly sprinkled with sumac, giving a light citrusy touch to the dish. On one side, there were two folded pieces of grilled pita bread filled with tomato paste, and they had a very nice smoky flavor that complemented the dish very well. According to the menu, this dish had 803 calories. Overall, I have tried eggplant kebab in other restaurants and even homemade versions, but this one stood out because of how well balanced it was, especially between the softness of the eggplant and the flavor of the kebab. This is Fayzah baklava. This dessert was beautifully presented as 5 perfect square pieces arranged on a bed of Lebanese cotton candy, which is very different from regular cotton candy. It's lighter, more delicate, and slightly rich in texture. The plate was decorated with small pink flower pieces and sprinkled with crushed pistachios, giving it a very elegant and premium look. Each piece had multiple layers, starting with a thin, crispy phyllo base, then a layer of traditional Arabic ice cream, which had the Arabian mystica flavor, followed by a pistachio layer, and finally topped with a thicker layer of golden baked phyllo. The baklava was finished with a light sugary syrup, which added sweetness without being too heavy or overpowering. According to the menu, this dessert had 1,031 calories. Out of all the dessert options, this one stood out because it carried the name of the restaurant and it felt like one of their signature items. Overall, it was a very well-balanced dessert, combining texture, sweetness, and presentation in a way that made it memorable without being too heavy. This is the Blue Hawaii Mojito. I ordered the Blue Hawaii Mojito, which came in a vibrant glass showing a beautiful blend of ocean blue and hints of green from the fresh mint leaves. It was garnished with lemon slices and fresh mint, giving it a very refreshing and inviting presentation. The drink had a light citrus flavor with a clear mint freshness, and the balance between sweetness and acidity made it very easy to enjoy. The texture was smooth with crushed ice, making it perfect for a hot day. According to the menu, this drink had 190 calories. Overall, it was a refreshing and well-balanced drink that complemented the meal perfectly. This is the Strawberry Mojito. I ordered the Strawberry Mojito, which came in a rich red color with a slightly textured service from the blended strawberries. The presentation was simple but appealing with a chilled glass and a fresh look that made it very inviting. The drink had a natural strawberry flavor that was clearly made from fresh ingredients and the balance between sweetness and freshness was very well done. It was not too sweet and not too light, which made it very easy to enjoy with the meal. The texture was slightly thick compared to the other drinks, giving it a more refreshing and satisfying feel. According to the menu, this drink had 262 calories. Overall, it was a flavorful and well-balanced drink that delivered a clean and refreshing strawberry taste. The price of pumpkin soup is 29 Saudi Riyal. The price of Fayzah salad is 49 Saudi Riyal. The price of Mama Ganoush is 26 Saudi Riyal. The price of grape leaves is 31 Saudi Riyal. The price of potato balls is 49 Saudi Riyal. The price of musakhan sambusa is 34 Saudi Riyal. The price of cheese rolls is 36 Saudi Riyal. The price of Lebanese sausage is 39 Saudi Riyal. The price of makinik is 39 Saudi Riyal. The price of chicken liver is 34 Saudi Riyal. The price of cheese kofta is 74 Saudi Riyal. The price of Lebanese sayadiyya is 84 Saudi Riyal. The price of eggplant kebab is 64 Saudi Riyal. The price of Fayzah baklava is 54 Saudi Riyal. The price of Blue Hawaii mojito is 23 Saudi Riyal. The price of strawberry mojito is 24 Saudi Riyal. The total plus the value added tax, which is 15%, is 592 Saudi Riyal. Starting with the food, the overall quality was very impressive. Each dish felt carefully prepared, with well-balanced flavors and clear attention to detail in both presentation and taste. From the appetizers to the main dishes, and even the dessert and drinks, everything maintained a consistent standard. The flavors felt authentic, while still having a slightly refined touch that made the experience more enjoyable. For this reason, I gave it a 4.8 out of 5. Moving on to the service. The experience was smooth from the moment I arrived. The staff were welcoming and always paying attention to the details, and the overall service felt organized and professional. Orders were taken clearly, and the timing between dishes was well managed, which made the dining experience comfortable without feeling rushed. For this reason, I gave it a 4.7 out of 5. As for the atmosphere, the restaurant had a calm and elegant feel. The design was modern with warm lighting, and the layout of the seating areas made it suitable for both casual visits and relaxed dining. Sitting upstairs gave a quieter and more comfortable environment, which added to the overall experience. For this reason, I gave it a 4.6 out of 5. Regarding parking, the restaurant is located in a plaza, and there are parking spots available directly in front of it along the street, which makes access relatively easy. For wheelchair accessibility, the restaurant has a ramp at the entrance, which allows access to the ground floor. However, there is no elevator, so access to the upper floor is only through stairs. So based on what I saw, customers using wheelchairs will need to be seated on the first floor. Overall, this was a very enjoyable dining experience. The food quality service, and atmosphere all came together to create a well-balanced visit. It's definitely a place worth coming back to, especially to try more dishes from the menu, and it's a restaurant I would personally recommend. So this was my experience today at Sofret Fayzah. I hope that you enjoyed it. If you liked the video, please give it a thumbs up, drop a comment down below, and don't forget to subscribe to my channel. Thank you for watching. And just remember, each bite tells a story. See you in the next one. Bye.